Hello and welcome. Today, we're here with the two co-founders of Shelters, an exciting RWA project building on MultiversX. And I'm excited to learn a little bit more, talk a little bit about what you're building, why you're building it, your background, how you got into this, and also some, perhaps new milestones. I hear there's some things you've been cooking. So welcome, Adrian, and welcome, Adele. How are you guys doing?
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Thank you for inviting us here today, Lucas. A lot of things happening for Shelters in the ecosystem, and we're glad to talk about this subject with you today. So my name is Adel, co-founder and a good friend of Adrien, co-founder of Shelters. To talk about our story a little bit before introducing what's Shelter and so on. We could talk about how we met with Adrien. So we're very good friends. We met a few years back in school. We had a lot of fun. We went into...
Is this engineering? Yeah.
It's engineering school, so geeky stuff, computer science stuff. But we were more into crypto and the blockchain world. During the COVID, we had time to play and learn a lot about these subjects. So that's where we met. That's where we tried to create and play with the first iteration of Shelters. So maybe Adrien can introduce himself.
Yeah, so thank you for having me as well. So I'm Adrien, the co-founder of Shelters. Like Adel said, we met in engineering school. Today we are working for our projects. So Shelters, we want to bring people on RWA, but make it easier to invest in real estate. It's our main target. And we are glad to be here. So looking forward to discuss together.
So let's go back to the college days, and maybe even before if you want. So you were studying something that is by definition highly technical, right? And so you probably have a very different approach to seeing, and then just, for example, looking at cryptocurrencies, there's probably something you immediately saw with your background, like, oh, this is interesting infrastructure or interesting technology. Talk a little bit about like maybe your first touch point, the first time you heard about it, what made you interested in diving a little bit deeper in it. What were the things that kind of stood out to you?
Yeah, I can remember clearly what blew my mind at first when I discovered the blockchain. It was the way of sharing data. This seemingly complex but in fine a very simple idea to share data, and that was not complex to understand, but I had to open my mind to this new technology, and I had to learn and see with my own eyes how to use it. So that's what blew my mind. That's what was great when I first went into contact with the blockchain, and of course, the cryptocurrencies. That was fun at first to discover. We were younger at this time, so it was the first time we touched finance. So for me, that was my first steps in finance. So that's why I totally was hooked to blockchain when I learned about it.
How about you? Same. Yeah. Did you discover together, by the way? Was it like you sent over this thing or?
Yeah, I discovered it first, and then I pushed the info for Ade to try. It's in the main same time. I think maybe I was a week ahead, but nothing much. So for the first time, I remember I interact with the Bitcoin network, the Bitcoin blockchain. And being able to send freely without banks value on internet was something a little bit crazy for us back then. And you feel in some sense some freedom, even though we are lucky enough in Europe, in France, for us, we are a French-based startup, French co-founder, but we are lucky enough to have some great banks at least working We can send freely euro from outside of France to Europe and so on. So for 90% of our use or day-to-day use, we are lucky enough to have some solution. But being able to send value elsewhere without intermediaries and quickly, it was a little bit crazy. And when we interact first, I was hooked, and I feel in myself that I wanted to create something on top of it. Back then, I didn't know why, I didn't know what, but I really, really liked the technology.
How did it compare, like jumping into that technology from with a technical background, like programming on the blockchain? What was your first sort of smart contract or app you were building? You mentioned you had like an early version of shelters or some idea around it. What were some things that you were playing with in the beginning, and how did that develop into shelters?
So at first, we had this idea to create tokenized and fractionalized properties on a Web3 and a 3D space. So something like a multiverse or something like that. We had time to play with some smart contract. We developed stuff to play with currencies and stuff like that. At first, it was very. We had this creative process. We didn't knew where we were going, but we tried a lot of stuff. And coming from a more technical background, we weren't scared of the technology. As geeks, we went full on the documentation and tried to implement stuff, build stuff very, very fast before even knowing where we were going. So I think that helped us get in touch with the technology. And when we had this idea, when we knew where we were going, it was easier for us to come back and play with the tools we played a few months back. So that's what was very helpful with this technological background.
Was there like a moment that you remember you were experimenting with a lot of different things, but already this sort of went into this real estate direction, at least, even if it's the metaverse versus the real world? Mm-hmm. But was there a moment when you're like, oh, this is the idea and we want to run with it? Was there? Yeah. The story that I usually tell to people. So at school, we discovered the blockchain, cryptocurrencies, of course. We had our first pays coming from internships and stuff like that. So we had little money. We knew that we had to invest this money in a way or another. So we tried cryptocurrencies. We tried a lot of options. And we wanted to try real estate. It's a French favorite way of investment. So 5, 6 friends together in a room with drinks. We had this idea to purchase an apartment together. So I'll put 10% and I'll earn 10% of the yields. We tried. We went on the streets and on a website that sells real estate, and we saw very quickly that this would be impossible for us. It was too hard, too complicated, too time consuming. So we decided to put what we knew best, to put our strength there. So in the IT world, the blockchain was very interesting, and the idea sparked from there. Let's create something that could fractionalize and tokenize real estate. Let's build a community. 6 friends is not enough, but a whole community around this project could be cool. So that's where it sparked. That's exactly where it started. So maybe in what's sort of the pitch? Explain shelters to somebody who's never heard of it. Let's leave the Web3 lingo out of it. What does Shelter do? How does it do it?
Yeah, so Shelters is a platform that lets everyone invest in real estate starting at 10 euros, using and leveraging the strength of fractionalized and tokenized real estate. So we as Shelter, as a company, go out and seek for real estates that are producing good yields, great real estate properties. When we find them, we tokenize and fractionalize them at 10 euros little fractions that you can purchase, and each month you receive the yields generated by these real estates. So easy to understand. We wanted to make it as easy as possible, as cheap as possible to destroy all the troubles and issues we had a few years back. So you connect on the app, create your account really quick, go through KYC. It takes 5 minutes, and you can invest using your cryptocurrencies if you want to. You can use your debit card, credit cards. You receive your token. You're free with your token. It's on your wallet, and then you receive each month the yields generated by the real estate asset.
And how does so a bunch of things. Let's start with one simple thing. How does the real estate produce yield for the
So it's really easy. We focus on finding real estate assets that are rented, for example. So each month we receive the rent of the apartment, of the parking lot. Then we share it through the people who own a fraction of this parking lot, for example.
But we can also do some reselling stuff. So being able to find some old real estate, make some work in it, and then we'll sell it after that with a digital premium. And we are working as well on that. And I think there are so many ways to provide yield with real estate. And for now, we are at the beginning of our journey. So we try to make it easy as possible, but we are working on so many ways and so many type of assets on the real estate side. And so, we are really eager to let the community see what we are working on the background for months now. But it will happen soon.
Now, this is, I think, winding it back just a little bit. Your entry into blockchain, again, was more of a technical nature, right? Most people experience blockchain for the first time because they throw some money at some asset, then it goes to zero and all of this stuff. Now, this RWA space is extremely interesting because it just uses the technology to democratize access to assets that perhaps are not affordable for people or in some other way locked away. So talk a little bit about that approach of like taking a technology that's just usually known for speculation and gambling, but actually taking this technology, using the infrastructure to make things accessible to then generate something that's very hard to come by otherwise, which is reliable yield from real world assets that people now have access to. So a little bit on that would be great.
Yeah, for sure. I think our industry, the Web3 industry, the blockchain industry, for too long focused on what matters less, what is technology, being able to it's important in the end. We have to have some great infrastructure to build on top of it, but you can't market it as a feature. I mean, too much company market it as a feature. I'm on top of Solana, I'm on top of MultiversX, of Bitcoin, of Ethereum, and it's the main feature of the company. I think it's the wrong way of thinking. I think you have to provide value through the problematic you are trying to solve. And with Shelter, that's exactly what we are trying to focus on, being able to onboard every type of user. And I think it's very important. And when we did our first operation, when I saw from my own eyes that my father was able to create an account and do pretty much everything without any intervention from me, it was a huge success. So I saw that it was possible to bring people outside of this world on top of the blockchain without knowing that they are on top of the blockchain. I think that's the beauty of what we are trying to build. And I think MultiversX as well as a great tool to being able to do that. Not all the blockchain can provide that at the moment, but that's really our main focus. It's how we can make life easier for user and not focusing on, okay, it's a cool techno. Let's bring that. I think that's not the very important part of a startup.
Yeah, let's go into that nerd territory a little bit, because like it's important to understand, like, you have a business idea and you have multiple ways of perhaps achieving success for it, right? Like you can maybe fractionalize this real estate in some Web2 way. So now, why did you guys choose the technology? How does Web3, the blockchain technology, actually help you achieve exactly what you want to achieve? And then maybe let's also talk about MultiversX a little bit. Like, why did you choose to build on top of this particular infrastructure? There's a lot of options out there.
I think the first spark that made us confident on the choice we made, that it was building on top of the blockchain, was a huge French startup that also are trying to make it easier to invest in real estate. I've been found out cheating about the numbers of fraction they have created for some real estate projects, and it was like I said, a spark for us, because blockchain is a technology that is perfect for transparency, security, even speed now, to being able to transfer assets, not being locked on some application. You are free to send your fraction to your friends through your digital wallet and so on. For now, it's maybe too soon to talk about some of these features, because not everyone have a digital wallet. But we are confident that in the near future, a lot of people will be on top of the blockchain without even knowing it. And I think that's why we really wanted to build on top of the blockchain, because it's in some way a database that is shared pretty much. So we always need of a database for our project, and a shared one, a split one is even better, and everyone can go into it and try to interact with it. So it's really great. And why MultiversX? I think, like we said, we are engineers, so we are looking for the best solution, for the more secure one. We really want to empower user, so that the user can, at the end of the day, at the end of the journey on shelters, being able to use his own digital wallet without any intervention on our end. And MultiversX provide great tool for that, even more in the security side, because the security for newcomers is very important, and we heard about a lot of scam happening because of the newcomer didn't know how to interact with the new technology. And at some point it was scary even for us, because what's happened if some of our users are being scammed? So that's why we focus our development on MultiversX.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think this security aspect is actually one of the strongest points that maybe we don't emphasize enough sometimes, right? Like it's from an architectural standpoint, there's many differentiators between blockchains actually in terms of like how assets are held, or how securely they can be transferred, how secure they are when they're in my wallet, and I happen to accidentally lose access to it, or things like that. So I think those are some very interesting points. Is there like 2 or 3 things about MVX specifically that stand out to you?
Yes, for sure. I didn't know if Adele wanted to answer to that, but for sure, I think the fact that we can create a wallet only by your Face ID, your fingerprint is really an important feature for us. That you have some 2 times verification as well. I think it's very, very important. And talking about smart contract, talking about infrastructure, the fact it's Rust based, it's really important as well. It's more safe to develop as a developer. It's more safe to interact for users for many reasons. I don't want to be too technical as well here too, but I think user can interact with MultiversX on any dApp with only one wallet, without to be feared to be drained and to lose every asset he has on his wallet, in this wallet. And it's priceless, I think. Today on Ethereum, when you heard some co-founder are saying you have to create one wallet per product, it's impossible for basic user or user from a daily basis that want just to use a product to create a wallet each time. it's not what I want for the future. It's not what I want to build, and I think that's why we are focusing our efforts on MultiversX.
Yeah, I think that's also important. And again, I'll just re-emphasize this, right? Like, as a business, if you're making decisions that are in favor of your users and they're long-term, you're going to be well-positioned in the future, not just for the current hype cycle. This is something that I think a lot of, let's say, new entrepreneurs kind of overlook, because bright and shiny, it's right there. And like, oh, everybody's talking about this. That can change at any moment, of course. But the foundational part is something that you won't get rid of. You can't just jump infrastructure as easily. So choose the one that's kind of best for your business. Now, you've made this choice. You've have, I think, one property live already. So let's talk a little bit about where Shelters is right now, and then also what's coming next.
So yeah, as you mentioned, we have one property live. We launched this first property at the beginning of this year. Sorry, it was more of a crash test for us to see that everything works well. To gather the first user reviews, their thoughts, to have a base to improve from. So that's what we did. It worked well. I think we've been sending the yields each month on the spot without being late. We had no issues with that. To be fair with you, so the first property was a parking lot. It was very easy to manage for us, but it's also a good type of real estate asset. I think it's overlooked. It's very overlooked. Not a lot of people would invest in a parking lot. It worked. It works. So now we're preparing for the next step.
Did all the 6 people in the room invest into this parking lot?
Yeah, I think so. Actually, yeah. They did. They all did. So we succeeded on this first idea.
Yeah, this is really the great success. You have an idea, you're in a room, and all of a sudden you can make it happen. That's
yes, great. Yeah. Exactly. So we're more. There are more of 6 person now. I think we are around 75% who invested in this parking lot. So a lot of friends of ours, of course, but a lot of people that we didn't know that are part of the community, of the MultiversX community, and also a lot of people that had nothing to do with the blockchain. So that's another great achievement for us, because we had trouble building a product that could be used by everyone, and everyone did use it. So that's a great success. And now onto the next steps. We had this whole year to polish the product, to have something great. We had time to think of where we are going. We also had time to find people that could help us, that we could that have other skills. So we are very IT. We are IT engineers, so we know how to build stuff, apps, so on. We learned the hard way how the real estate market worked, but we still wanted to have people around us that very understand this market, because this is a complicated market. So that's what we did. We now have a full team ready to go on the next step. Maybe Adrien, you want to talk about the next step?
Yeah, for sure. So in the coming days, coming weeks, we will be able to do our next operation. We can't say what we want to say all live yet, because it's not completely finished. But we also have some regulatory scrutiny to be careful of. So this operation will be only for 150 people, and it will be a great yield for sure, but I can't say much. The real estate will be close to Lyon, a French town where we are all based in the team with Shelters. And we are really looking forward to see as much of you. We just have to be careful on our next communication announcement and on our website. Do not hesitate to come to us to ask for information. That's the only way we will be able to provide everything. If not, we cannot say everything out loud because of the regulation. But we are really we're happy to be able to go to the next operation and provide some great opportunities for our communities.
Another thing with shelters, the way it is now, and what we did, it's maybe more of a philosophical point of view, but we always took the steps step by step. We built our solution one step at a time. We didn't want to burn the steps. So the first thing we did was a parking lot, because it's easier for us to manage. The next operation will be a bigger one. It won't be a parking lot, but we still wanted to be sure to do the things well, correctly, step by step. That's why we're launching it with this sort of a way. So 149 person will be investors. We'll have to select them, and we'll have to share the information with these people. So yeah, one step at a time. And the next operation will be very soon, as Adrien said. You have to follow us on our socials. You have to subscribe to the newsletter. It's very important to be able to receive all the news, and to be able to subscribe to this next operation.
You see, you're not IT people, you're sales people. I see.
Exactly.
Just quickly before I go back on the regulatory and some like scouting questions, how do you get the information? You write to the people should write to you personally, or is there like an interest registration form or something?
So because of the regulation, we cannot ask people to just log into the shelter app and access all the data. So they'll have to ask whether it's by contacting us directly or via a form that we've created on the app that is to be live soon. But yeah, you'll have to. It's not. You won't be bound to any investments. It's again a regulator thing, but you have to ask. Yes, you have to ask whether it's through the app or through contacting us directly.
So let's talk about the regulations, because as one might imagine, like if you sell real estate or you buy real estate and all of a sudden there's like 2,000 owners for this thing, like, it's easy to trace on the blockchain, but clearly the regulations in most countries, if any countries, have not really caught up with the opportunities that are actually provided, and how to KYC, how to do tax things around it. So this could be an entire podcast, I'm sure, in itself, but talk about some of the most important obstacles you've encountered, how you've solved them, and then maybe also how you've seen the space, the regulatory framework develop since you started.
It's a great question, actually. I think the space was kind of always scary for us on the regulatory side, because when we started the company back then in 2022, 2023, the regulation was not finished yet, and even today it's not completely finished. And so it was always a stress for us on how we would be hit by the regulation in some sorts. So we were talking about a lot. We were talking a lot with our lawyer to know what we can't do, how to proceed. And at the end of the day, we have to make some choice as founders, some hard choice sometimes, and you are not always 100% sure where you will be in the next month, week, and if it was the right idea to proceed like that. But in the meantime, I think regulation is also really important for us as well, because if the states don't recognize what you are doing, you are in some sort cooked, because at the end of the day, the state is really important to make sure that people understand what happened. So it's a great tool, but as always in France and in Europe, it's a little bit rushed. It's created too early without any startup that are being able to be fully ready to comply 100% with the regulatory framework. Hopefully we have a solution with shelters. We work a lot to do that. And I think the future is bright now. We know in what direction we want to go, and we just have to execute well, but always be careful on what we do and what we provide. And to be specific on how it works on the regulatory side, you are not the actual owner of the place. You have some contracts that are linking you to the real estate. We are buying with Shelter, so it's a Shelter that is the owner for the law, in front of the law. But the yield we are creating is shared with the investor, with the user. So that's how we proceed. So yeah, we can talk I think hours on the subject. In the US, it's not the same regulation, it's not the same way of thinking. So yeah, a lot of things are different from Europe and the US, but yeah, we are working, and I think the future is bright now.
Another thing I could add, and again, it's a philosophical way of thinking and of seeing shelters. But what we really do is not offering real estate, is offering trust. Whether it's to our users, when you purchase fractions on the website, we have to be sure to be able to return yield, to have a great real estate product behind it, and to have a great way of leading the company. That's on the one hand. And on the other hand, regarding the regulations and the regulator, a lot of rules are to be made, are not clearly established yet. So we have to do our best to be as clear as possible on what we're selling, to protect our users and the investors, to purchase real estate that is correct for the community, but also for the people who lend them. So yeah, we have to be very careful, and we have to play the game as clean as possible. We have to be as clean as possible. So that's what we're trying to do with shelters. Even though some stuff are not made, we prefer to do more than not enough.
Yeah, I mean, staying on this semi-philosophical angle, how do you balance this sort of like need to do innovation and to just go for it with the compliance, with the need to be like, well, we need to be as clear and compliant and follow everything that is out there that we can, but for stuff that isn't out there, we need to kind of make up the rules ourselves because they don't quite exist. Like, how do you balance that tension?
Yeah, it's one of the most complicated part of this entrepreneurship adventure. So the first thing, how it works, we have great ideas. We want to get the product where we want to go. Then Adrien will come and tell you, yeah, wait a minute, let's see the lawyers and let's read the rules first. So that's what he'll do and what the lawyer will do. Then we have to come up with a solution that's safe for everyone, and that's clear, and that couldn't possibly be bound to a scam or something like that. So a lot of talking, a lot of researching, a lot of trying stuff and looking out on the space. To be honest, we also have to learn from what the others do, the issues that they had, the great thing that they've done, and yeah, we try stuff, and we think that as long as the users and the investors are safe, it's the more important thing. Even for the regulators, that's the most important thing.
Yeah, I think we have to be clean as possible, and at the end of the day, it will be the most important thing. If we are trying to do the thing clean, and the community is looking for information, always find the information. We try to be as close as possible, even though it's not perfect even today. But we try to improve day by day. And sometimes you have to operate in some gray zone. You don't know if it's fully legal, but it's not fully legal as well. So you have to match everything. Like Adel said, I'm not the funniest man sometimes, because I have to shut down some ideas, some good ideas, but the law is not writing by me, unfortunately. So we try to operate as clean as possible, and at the end of the day, it's what is really important, I think.
And I can give you a clear example of what we did very recently, actually. So the first operation we launched, and to be bound to the contract, you had to sign a contract. To sign it, we did something very dirty, but it kind of worked. You had to check a case that redirected you to the contract. So it worked, but the lawyers came to us and said, yeah, you wanna do something bigger? Okay, this could work, but you shouldn't do that. So we used our strength as IT engineers and as people who totally owns their product to add very quickly but cleanly a solution to digitally sign papers and contracts. So we bootstrap. We want it to be as clear as possible for everyone, and when we have to do stuff, we'll do them. We have to comply and use the regulation as a leverage, because sometimes it's a pain, but if at the end it protects our users, it's the game we have to play.
Is there a super fun idea that you came up with that was shut down that you can?
So much. I can't even imagine. I think one of the toughest thing I have to do is to slow down a bit on ideas of the guys, because I have to say, guys, we are not sure on what we can do. And even though we are sure, sometimes we just can't do that because we don't have the right agreement, we don't have the right banking license and so on, because really quickly you are talking about banking license, even though you just want to provide some secondary markets, for example. So so tough discussion. You always have to be smart with the regulation, try to find an edge on how you can trick things and play it on your advantage, but not crossing the law as well, and being clean, because at the end of the day, we don't want to trick the law. We just want to provide the best services for our user, and so sometimes you have to play by the law. But you can't even imagine how many ideas we had, and we have to drop it out completely because it won't comply with the law.
But it's still on the pipeline. We really have a good team. We talk to a lot of people. A lot of things are not done, but are yet to be done, and they will be done in a few years. I'm completely sure of it.
Yeah, I think it's interesting too, in terms of like where we stand today versus like 3 years ago, whatever. I remember like all of these great ideas coming out, like, oh, here's some tokenized wine, and you're gonna own the bottle, but you can, like all of this was a French project that also built on MVX. I'm not sure if you remember that.
Yeah, definitely.
But I had like multiple of these, and it's like, oh, I was so excited to get the wine. I never got the wine. My point here is like, there's so many ideas that have been tried right now, and we're actually coming to a point on the road where things are crystallizing, as in ideas that can actually work within the framework that Web3 and the law sort of provides at this point. We're honing in on actually figuring out, okay, this is possible right now. We can do this. We're able to provide these services. And that's an extremely interesting and exciting point, right? Before it was all experimentation, and who knows, that wine will never, most likely you'll never see that wine. Like, don't invest if you actually want the wine, invest if you want to support an interesting idea. But now we're getting to a point where it's like very clear. It's like, oh, I can, in very confidently invest in fractionalized real estate. I will get a monthly return on this investment over X amount of years. I can expect to make my investment back, and then it's profit, etc. Like we're at a point now where this is so much more clear. And that's also, shout out to all the ones that came before us and died along the way, right? But that's a necessary process to get to where we are right now. Yeah, I don't know if you have thoughts on this sort of experimentation with reality.
Totally. I think that's also was a thought. One of the main issue we had with the team while launching shelters. We had so many ideas. We wanted to launch everything at the same time. But at the end, we learned that we had to focus on a few very important elements and go only on these elements. So we learned from other people, and we try to crystallize this element, the very important one. But yet, I think we had to build this base, and we'll have time to experiment, to try other stuff. Maybe they won't work, maybe they'll work. We'll see. But one important thing is that we have to understand and hear what the community really wants, really needs, and to see if it's even possible to make it. Everything's possible with the blockchain and MultiversX. That's not a problem, but I meant on the regulatory wise and so on. So focus on one aspect of the project. Try other stuff around, and I think you'll see that very soon. We'll try a lot of cool stuff, and listen to the community. That's very important.
And I think with new technology, a lot of startups came up with idea, but didn't work enough with the business model. And I think that's the critical point for too many projects, like with internet, by the way. When internet come trendy in the early 2000, a lot of startups collapse, because even though they are saying we are doing that in internet, doing this, doing that, and today a lot of companies are succeeded building some stuff on internet. They didn't work enough the business market. It was still a new technology. Not everyone yet was fully ready to use the internet and to know how to use it, actually. So it was one major critiques, one major errors, mistakes that they made back then. And with blockchain, we did exactly the same. A lot of startups failed because they have ideas. They know that blockchain could be a great tool to proceed, but didn't know how to bring value with that. But we can also thank them as well, because if we shelters are still alive, it's a part thanks to them, because we always learn from them, from their mistakes, from what they did great, what they did wrong, and we try always to improve. And I won't say that today shelters will be the next big tech company that will be succeeding. It's too early for that. We try to stay humble. I think we are in the great on a great path, but we have to be careful and doing our best, and hopefully in few years it will pay off.
Yeah, I want to touch on one thing that Adele, I think, mentioned a few times, and you have too, Adrian, which is the word community. It means nothing anymore, right? But it is something that is, I think, a main differentiator between working in like a traditional Web2 company and being in this sort of public space in the Web3 world, where people are chain, where you're expected to communicate in completely different ways, but also brings all of these great upsides of like being able to iterate with your product much faster or in different ways, or get before you even build anything, which is something that costs a lot of money in research development in the traditional Web2 space. So I want to talk just a little bit about like how you think about, let's say, the broader space, building with that community, but then also, making sure that you actually have an investor base that's not just Web3, but that is much broader than that. So yeah, some thoughts on how you think about community and building with community.
Yeah. Definitely. I think one of the key aspects we didn't talk about yet about building on the blockchain, that we are lucky enough today to have some already users that are interacting with the blockchain and that are eager to find new way to interact with the blockchain, with new product, with new application, and so on. So it's early. It's like having early users really easily for startups. So it's really great to have some feedbacks really soon, because people are scrolling on Twitter always what is happening. Even more with the bull market, but for now it's a little bit down. So you don't have the same community today than we had 2 years ago. But I think it's really great. But at the end of the day, we want to grow the pie and to attract people on the blockchain, because we are so small. Even Bitcoin today, most of the Bitcoiner and at some point will be old with ETF with BlackRock without interacting anymore with the layer one. So I think what user want is a product that's easy and that solves problem, and we need to attract people to the technology and not the other way around.
And speaking of community and the Web3 community more particularly, the most idea we've received and the greatest idea we've received came from this community. I think that they have a lot more experience. They have a lot more ideas because of the fact that they've tried a lot of things, a lot of new things, a lot of innovative things. So yeah, I think this community is one of the most creative one. But at the same time, we still have to educate them, and that's one of another issue or pain point we have to fix with shelters. So we have to educate on both sides. On the more Web3 side of our community, we have to educate them, maybe not on investment, but on real estate still, because a lot of people don't know or don't want to know how to invest in real estate. And on the other hand, we have the more Web2 or even my parents and the older generation that maybe already know how to invest in real estate, but don't understand a thing about blockchain, but innovation and technologies in general. So shelters is a way for you to invest, but we also want to make it a product to learn to place your first 10 euros on real estate, to have this first step in investments. So that's hard work. We have to make sure that everyone understands, that everyone is rewarded correctly, that everyone's ideas are implemented the way they want. So yeah, community is great, and we have to share a lot of information with this community, and it's all about community nowadays. So yeah.
On that note, who do you guys see as like your primary target audience and users? Are you trying to particularly like be a Web3 investment, or are you trying like going for a much different, or like how do you put these pieces of the puzzle together?
I think at first when we created the startup that is Shelters today, our main focus was to be Web3, because we were back then, okay, Web3 is the next thing. I think everyone will be using it. I don't care about Web2 users. They are too bad for us. They will miss a lot of opportunities. And more and more, when time come on, we figured out that we had to open more broadly, and even more importantly, to bring Web2 users to the technology. Like the startup on internet did. Why today everyone is using internet? Why today everyone is using Amazon and so on? It's because it's so easy, it's so convenient. You don't want to go back to the old solution because it's too easy and it solves a real problem. And I think that's exactly what we are trying to do with Shelters. And I think we want to be the perfect hybrid about that, because at the end of the day, if you are able to onboard every user and to show them how easy it is to interact with blockchain technology and how it solves a real problem that you are struggling with, they will want to do more on blockchain, to do more with more application. And what is crazy with blockchain technology is that every user can be a shareholder of the technology. You can invest on cryptocurrency, and at the end of the day, being part of the journey of this technology. I think it's the first time we see something like that at this point. But you always need to be open for people that is not interested in the technology and just want to interact with great products that solve real problem. And today we are focusing our eyes mainly on the Web2 space. And we want to attract people, but in the meantime, we want to build as well feature for Web3 user that are already with the knowledge to be able to fully use the power of the blockchain technology. So we always try to do both, but we are focusing our effort mainly on the Web2 user.
Okay, I think last, and this is very much, I think, a good seg toward this. The near future for shelters, for RWAs, for sort of the space. What are some trends that you're seeing that you find are promising? What are some things that you'd like to build, or where you'd like the space to go? What are you kind of like focused on for the next step beyond releasing this very exciting big piece of real estate that now goes from this proof of concept to an actual like big investment?
I think it's a great question, and I have my personal opinion, but we will see what's happen. First, let's put some context. I think as a technology, we failed to deliver with the blockchain technology. We failed to deliver the value we enter in the space. At the beginning, we were thinking everything will go on chain. And we thought that today, not everything is on chain, and even though it's on chain, it's on private network. And I think that it's not the ethos we want to promote to the world. We want to open internet to let everyone interact with the technology. And I think for now, it's not taking the best direction, I would say, but it's not over yet. I think we are in a trend where we can do better. And at the end of the day, blockchain technology is solving real problem. And I don't know yet how big company will use it. But in so many ways, blockchain can provide some really great tools. I can take an example for a bank today. If you run everything on a public network, such as MultiversX, you will save a lot of money on infrastructure that you are using today to maintain your old server that is low with old standard and so on. And if today your bank account is on the blockchain, it solves pretty much everything, and it's way cost efficient, it's way easier, and so on. But it takes times. In Europe, even more, I think, on the technological side. I think, like always, now in the US, we saw that the administration is moving completely from one to another, and the view on the blockchain technology is evolving as well. And when big tech company, big banks will be moving, Europe will be moving as well. So I think it's a matter of time. And now the question is, what is the best technology? What is the best blockchain? What is the best product that could be that will be able to survive and run on top of it? I think I like the example of Amazon. Back then, it was the internet bubble when every startup tried to put internet on the name to show, we are doing some technological stuff. And if you bet on the right one, like Amazon, Apple, and so on, today you will be rich, at least wealthier than I am. But you have to find the best one, the great one, and hopefully we will be one of them.
I think when we launched shelters, we had this simple idea that we, as a student, as a young person, we couldn't invest our money in real estate as easily as we wanted to. So we tried and we fixed this issue. It's not perfect yet, but we fixed this issue with shelters. And while building the company and the product, we discovered another issue. that not everyone could invest and use the blockchain technology as easily as they wanted to. So that's why we switched all our strength and our focus to the Web2 users, because these people, when we talk to them, were like, yes, we hear about blockchain, cryptocurrencies everywhere on the news, on the papers. We want to be part of it, but we don't know where to start. We don't even know what it's used for. We just heard that people are getting rich using cryptocurrencies, buying Bitcoins, buying NFTs. We want to be part of it. And I think that shelters will solve this problem in the near future. Because, okay, at first people will log in and purchase their first fraction without even knowing what they want to do. But with this educational aspect of the project, I think we'll be able to make everyone know how to use, or at least know what is a blockchain.
Yeah, I mean, put something in your wallet and then you'll be much more interested in learning what you just did.
Yep.
That's like, I also bought Bitcoin. I was like, what the hell did I just do? This was stupid. I don't want anything to do with it. But then when you learn about it, it's like, oh, this is very interesting. I can do this, that, the other. Actually, one very last question here, just because somehow we made it through an hour of a conversation in the blockchain space without bringing up AI at all. Talking about sort of the future. And I know you guys been experimenting with vibe coding and sort of like how that influences both the accessibility of like blockchain technology, perhaps for users, because they can, task an agent with performing the things and don't need to think about it anymore. But also in terms of how that influences your guys' startup and how you're building the company, because you have, tools at your disposal that were unthinkable a year ago almost, right? So let's have that as sort of the closing thoughts on maybe how that's going to affect the future.
So we were talking earlier about cool stuff we wanted to implement, but that were too complicated to implement because of the regulation. AI is one of these things. We had this idea to have this agent that could help you invest in real estate, that could help you understand what you're buying, where you're buying, stuff like that. So that could be used. I think using AI for giving informations that are proven right is a great tool. But also another thing, and that's also a personal thing that we did for this project and on this adventure. AI is a tool that boosts our creativity in a way that we couldn't even imagine a few years back. So it helped us a lot. I think everyone does that now, but I find myself talking to the AI a lot of the time. I try to be reasonable and to use it in a proper way.
No therapy, please. No therapy. That's
no. I don't do that. But yeah. It helped us build stuff for a day to another, try new components, try stuff like that. So I think AI is boosting the creativity. I think it's a great thing. Now the mission for us is to find a good and useful way to implement it in the project.
Yeah, I think it's a key element that you emphasize, Lucas, because we are we are already using AI a lot on my part as well, on the Adel part. I think all of the team is using AI on a daily basis today. We didn't implement anything on AI in our product yet, but it will come for sure, because it's too powerful for helping people to address some question. It's too powerful. We have already we have a lot of idea on what we can do and what we can provide to the users through AI, and it's an amazing revolution. We are only at the beginning of it, and merging blockchain and AI is I think the best technology you can merge, because you have the security, the trust, and the transparency and everything with the power of AI and the tool you can build with only your imagination as a limit. So I think it's amazing. At first, it's always scary, because as IT engineer, it was our work to create some product. And now it's open to everyone, and in some sense it's better, because it's everyone with a great idea can do so much today. So looking forward to what we can build.
We always talk about building bridges between worlds, but I think AI will build this bridge. It will help people understand so much easier all the issue that they have, how to solve them. So yeah, I think AI will help us a lot in this mission and in this adventure.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for taking the time and providing some insights. Very exciting. People can find you at shelters.finance, correct? Where else should they follow you and buy some real estate?
They can follow us on Twitter, where we share most of the advancement of the project, on LinkedIn, of course, by subscribing to the newsletter when we send the most important pieces of information. And yeah, we are a small business, a small team, but we really want to be as accessible as possible. So don't hesitate to send us emails, send us direct messages. We'll be glad to answer. This project and this company is most of all our passion. So we love what we're doing, and we'll gladly talk about it for hours and end with you.
Definitely, I think I didn't have much to add.
Thanks. Thank you very much. See you around.
Thanks.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.